Traffic Jam is on now.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Dre, your humble correspondent, here once again in the Traffic Jam. And we've got two very, very impressionable, talented, and what can I say, great young men on the mic. And they're come up with a tour to spend some time with me. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves, please.
K.Davis, Hitman from the South Bronx, recording artist, signed to Interscope Records right now. We're on a little tour, having fun with it.
Great. And
you got RowStacks here, Bronx, New York, San area to Cali. You know, right now I'm signed to independent label 7680. Big up, you're ready.
Congratulations to both of you. Now, I'm going to start off. How did you guys decide to jump and be a part of hip hop, rap music? How did you decide? Let's start with K.
Well, Ro is my younger brother, so he's been around me my whole life. You know, when our uncle is Dougie Fresh, and that's how it all started. You know, we followed the patterns what Doug laid out for us. And once I saw the old school cats doing it, Grandmaster Flash, Disco 4, Bambaataa, Tila Rock, it made me feel like I need to be doing this. It's the culture thing, you know, for the people. That was
born and raised in the Bronx?
Born and raised in the South Bronx, Fort Apache.
So you've been doing this quite some time.
Oh yeah.
And
2 decades and a half, you could say that.
I'm not scared of you. You don't you don't got me shook.
Oh,
all right, Mr. Stacks, your turn. Why did you get involved with hip hop and rap music?
I got involved with hip hop when I was about 9 or 10 years old. Of course, from my big brother, K.Davis Hitman, like he told you. I started doing it behind him and my uncle Doug, you know. And at 15, that's when I cut my first record. And I've been doing it ever since I was 9 or 10 years old up until now. I follow behind the path for them, you know, it's in our blood.
I see that. So you mentioned your uncle is the one and only illustrious world's greatest entertainer himself, Mr. Doug E. Fresh.
Yes, sir.
By him being your uncle, did that put a lot of pressure on you to decide to jump in and be a part of this? That goes to K first and Mr. Stacks second.
No pressure at all. It has made me hungrier. I was just trying to grab it, man. It was a beautiful thing to see him do his thing and the age that I was a kid. And it taught me a lesson. You know, I learned a lot from watching him do his thing, you know, how the business run, make records, perform. It just made me hungry. And I just became a slave to hip hop, straight slave.
Mr. Stacks, your question on you.
It wasn't no pressure. The only thing it made me do was want to build myself up in the game and make sure I make my own name and my own legacy. Because, you know, like when people hear, oh, that's your uncle, they look at it like he's automatically going to put you on, the doors open up. Nah, I made my own way. So that's what it did for me. It just make me more hungry and make me want to grind so I could get like him, but without his help.
So with that happening in the rap game and Doug coming up with Slick Rick or, you know, Ricky Waters with two phenomenal, incredible hits like The Show and Lottie Dottie, what makes you guys think, hey, you know what? I can compete with that. I'm going to start with Mr. Stacks for that question. How do you compete with a guy and his partner that does The Show and Lottie Dottie, which today plays like it just came out yesterday? How do you decide to compete with that?
It's not even me competing with it. What I do is my craft is different. My style of music is different. So what I do is I make my own genre of music. Like recently, one of my singles I did in the group, I went gold on that. And it's like I base my style on different things. Like I even did a record, it was for epilepsy awareness on SoundCloud. I got 2 million plays on that. So it's like I said, it's not me competing. It's just me figuring out the best way and best lane for me to make records that be timeless, that you can listen to, and at the same time, listen and study his format and his strategy on what he did to make hits. So I don't compete. I just learn. You understand?
Yes, sir. Hitman,
Yes,
question
sir.
goes to you. With those type of mega songs, how do you compete with Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick?
Well, I don't compete with them. I do what they do. There's no, I learn from it. I look at it as a lesson, you know, as a lesson on how to make a timeless record and how to be an artist. I'm not a hip hop. I'm an MCS, but I'm an artist. I'm an entertainer, so I entertain you. So I take it in stride, man. You know, I mean, you can't really compete against that record or them records. You can't do it because it's been in the game so long and it's been out there so long. So what you could do is build around it. Build around it and make your brand as strong as their brand is. And that's what I think I'm doing right now, making my brand to last as long as Doug and Rick's brand lasted.
You're watching The Traffic Jam.
Dr. Dre here on the Traffic Jams, and we're here with Dougie Fresh's nephews, Mr. Stacks and the Hitman. And this is a question, because we're going to jump off of Doug for a while, and we're going to go into you guys, being unique artists yourselves. What do you look forward to? Or should I say, what becomes your inspiration in writing your next song? And that goes to Mr. Stacks first.
What inspires me to write my next song is, let me see, let me think about that.
Take your time. We only got 10 minutes.
I know. Really what inspires me to write my next song is to make it bigger and better than the last one that I just did. So it's like if I put out one record and it goes gold or it does great, I want that next one to go platinum. I want it to be even better. So it's like as I go on each record, I want to get better and better and better. I don't want to just stay where it's like I put out one record, then the next one, they like, oh, that's like the last one. Nah, I want to propel myself. So each time get better and better. That's my motivation on it.
So each single is unique to itself. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Hitman, question goes to you. What inspires you and how do you look forward to when writing your material?
Well, it come from the heart. I mean, I inspire myself. Sometimes when I hear the beat, the song already comes there. Like when I play the track, the song is already there. It's in my mind. It's just how I get it out in my mind and put it on paper. You know, when you understand music, it shouldn't be hard to write any kind of song. Like when you hear the track, remember, music, you write music. You know about composing and orchestrating. You write music. So when the track is talking to you, you just talk back to the track. You're having a conversation with the song. So that's all I do. I listen to the beat and I make whatever comes to, whatever the song gives me, that's the song. That's it.
So, who produces you guys? Let's start with Mr. Hitman. Who produces you?
Well, I got a couple of producers. My man Jack Sound Beats. I recently started messing around with DJ King Assassin and Green Guy. Battle Cat. You know, a few producers out west. East Coast producers, my man Leander Tate. Big up to Broken Wings recording. LT produces me as well. And myself. You know, I mean, I get down on the beat machine a little something. When it comes to the big wigs, that's the ones I really deal with at the moment.
Mr. Stacks, who produces you?
I deal with my brother K.Davis, the Hitman, and also right now I'm working closely with my boy Dancing Beats. He's based out of California. He's did a lot of my last beats that I use. So that's who I'm dealing with right now. And then in the future, I'll be dealing with some more people in California as well.
Right.
Okay. This is to both of you. Do you find a different style of music from the West Coast to the East Coast that you prefer? We'll start with the Hitman.
Yeah. Because the East Coast music is more boom bap. It's more boom bap. It's more club, dance, you know, fun. West Coast music is just, you know, it's more funkadelic, George Clinton, Zapp Rogers. So it's definitely two different styles. You can't compare them at all.
So with the both of you, okay. So it's about the energy. Does it matter whether you're on the West Coast or the East Coast to produce a track, or could you be on either coast and produce for the West Coast or the East Coast? In other words, the location, does that matter?
Nah, location don't matter.
No.
I can record on the East or the West. It really don't matter. Like recently when we just was out there, we just laid down a couple of tracks. So it don't matter. Wherever we at, we can do it.
Hitman.
Nah, it don't matter. You know, as long as the scenery is good, the vibe is right, then I could get busy. You know, it got to be a nice vibe, because the vibration is what make the song become what it is. Got to have the energy correct. If the energy ain't correct, then, you know, sometimes I won't do it because the energy ain't there, and the track is going to sound nothing like, it's going to sound just like everything else out there. For you to get a unique sound, you got to have a certain energy and a certain frequency. So it don't matter what coast it is, it matters about the energy.
You're watching The Traffic Jam.
Second exercise here, we'll target the glute and hamstring. I'm going to do a lateral one. My sister is going to be single leg. You can use an elastic band, a water bottle, or just body weight. So, as you can see, I position my leg, but I make sure my knee is lateral to the other one. Keeping your core tight, back up straight. You can use one hand, one you put here, one stay here, or you can use both hands. It's up to you. So I'm going to start. Squeeze on the top always. And keep your back straight. I'm going to switch leg. Same thing, my knee lateral. My first leg is not completely straight. Little bend here. You can have your hand position. You want to have an axe and keep your body aligned. One. Go slow. You want that muscle connection. Three, you can use both hands as well. Don't forget to breathe. Last two here. Last one. And always make sure when you put your dumbbell down, you want to keep the body straight back.
Well, you speak about having energy and a vibe. What brings you there? Do you smoke the weed? Do you drink? I mean, or is it just the fresh air? Is it the girlies? What brings the vibe and that emotion when you're recording? Starting with Hitman on that one.
Wow. The vibe comes from the soul. Like, you know, when you're listening to a track, you know how when you feel something, you feel it in your gut, and it just like give you chills on your arms. That's a vibe. You know, if you go in the studio and you hear it beating, it's just dope, and you're gonna just write something dope. When you hear something, it's like, oh man, and you're gonna write, oh man. So it gotta be a chill. You gotta feel a chill. You gotta feel that in your gut.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Ari Spears right now. Keep it locked. You watching Traffic Jam. It's gridlock. You ain't going nowhere. You got no choice. Tune in.
Mr. Stacks, that goes to you. What brings your vibe out? Is it the weed? Is it the liquor? Is it the girlies? What brings your vibe out when you're recording?
I don't smoke. I drink occasionally. Like the girls is, I'm not really concerned about that. The thing that brings it out of me is when I hear a beat, I know exactly when it's the time and when it's that right beat. It's like the music talks to me and it automatically make the words start popping in my head and I'm just ready to go.
So would you say, Mr. Stacks, you need the music to write to, or can you write without music?
Nah, I could write without music also. It's just that if I hear a specific type of beat, it'll make me write about a certain type of thing. As I say, the music, it'll talk to me and tell me, all right, this is what's supposed to go on here. But other than that, I could sit down right now and I could write a 16, I could write a whole song. It doesn't matter. But the music just does that specific type of thing to me. It gives me that energy. It's like it wakes something up in me.
Question goes to the Hitman. Do you need the beat, or can you do it without the beat and write your own thing?
Well, I usually write joints without a beat because I make my own flow up. That way I won't sound like nobody else. I don't need a beat to write. The beat is already in my head. You know, it's like when you got a rhythmatic pattern going on in your mind, you can write to anything. It's like wind blowing. When the wind blows, it just blows. You don't see it. You feel it.
You're watching The Traffic Jam.
Well, Mr. Hitman, you're signed to Interscope. What are some of your songs that have come out on Interscope so far?
Well, we ain't putting nothing out that strong right now. We got the U that's out. It's called the U. It's a West Coast joint. We got the Diamond. We got test records out right now, the U and Diamond. But one that's going to pop is called It's called That Ass to the Floor. That's the one that's getting enough buzz. What they do is they put out a certain amount of records to see which one is going to be the one. And That Ass to the Floor could be the one because it's like people are taking to it. And I got a P&D deal. It's a production distribution deal in the scope. And basically I produce myself. And if they feel the record is worth it, then they'll put it out. If it ain't worth it, then it's like, But you know, it's a good deal. It's not a label deal, it's a P&D deal.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good look. It's how you work that out.
Right. I don't want a label deal because a label deal is like you being a slave. P&D deal is like it's on me now. So I'm, it's up to me to do what I do. But it's a comfortable situation. I like it.
Okay. Same question to you, Mr. Stacks. You put out some songs. What are some of the name of these songs? And how does your deal work?
Pretty much right now, I just signed the deal not too long ago, probably like about three weeks now. And what we did was we just released one single out called Tit for Tat, featuring my brother K.Davis, the Hitman, and put it up on SoundCloud and put the video out. And we're gearing up to remix that with my guy Vic from California. He's a reggaeton artist, so be on the lookout for that. And my deal is pretty much a 3-single, 1-album deal, so that's the way that's gonna work right there with that. So we just taking the first steps with it. The deal is fresh. So, hopefully everything worked right and we make this thing pop. And once again, want to shout out California for showing love and want to shout you guys out for having us come up on this show and giving us this platform.
Well, thank you for shouting out Traffic Jams. My name is Dr. Dre, your humble correspondent. Last question.
We already know. Hold on. Not to cut you off. A lot of people probably don't even realize and know exactly who you are, but I know.
I appreciate that. That. I've been on the 1 and 2s. I've been behind the boards, and I've done a lot of music for a lot of different folks. The last
we know you a legend, bro. Stop it.
I know who you are, Dre.
Dude, this is your interview. Thank you. But
that's why I didn't go there with you. I know who you are. We know who you are. Straight bona fide legend. Right.
I appreciate that. Let me ask this last cool question. Is there an opportunity or possibility of a collaboration with your uncle, Dougie Fresh, and the Hitman and Mr. Stacks?
Well, I mean, I wrote a lot of Doug records already. I did that already. I wrote the Play album, and I wrote Spirit that was on the Ghostbusters soundtrack, and I wrote
You did? You wrote whoa. You do that real fast. Roll that back. Roll that back, Mr. Hitman. See, the Hitman just be moving too quick. Say that again. You wrote the Spirit song on the Ghostbusters soundtrack.
I co-wrote it, and I co-wrote the record that was on a 6-man movie soundtrack called Superstitious, and I co-wrote the Play album.
Because that Spirit song with the Ghostbusters soundtrack, one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite Doug songs.
Yeah.
Really
I performed on the album too. It was a record called Get the Money. We were supposed to get a video for it, but you know, PM Dawn passed away. The guy from the Grave Diggers passed away at the time. John Baker was the owner of the label coming through 4th and Broadway. So, you know, things just went kind of like slightly downhill, and Doug went and signed with Hammer. It's a long story, but I worked with him a whole lot. I just keep it quiet behind the scenes.
That's why you're the Hitman. Mr. Stacks.
Right.
So what do you see? Is there a possibility of a collabo with your great uncle?
It's always a possibility, as long as the timing is right, the energy's there, which it always is going to be there. It just pretty much got to make sense. If it makes sense and the timing is right, yeah, we're going to get it done.
Well, we're looking forward to your next moves. We're looking to check you out on the video, and we're going to bring you back on Traffic Jams as you drop it. Keep it hot. Let us know where it is and keep them shaking and bringing that ass to the floor. I like that title.
There we go. Yeah, it works too. It works.
There's definitely got to be a dance track.
That's right. It is. It definitely is. Yeah.
Well, my name is Dr. Dre, and we are on Traffic Jams with the one, the only K.Davis, the Hitman, and of course, his baby. Is it baby brother?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is it baby brother, Mr. Stacks?
Mm-hmm. In the flesh, baby, in the flesh.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time.
This is the Traffic Jam.